Morning, everybody. Time for the morning fishing report. I'm out today. I was invited along by Ian Renfro, owner of Black Dog Tackle. Sorry, Brown Dog. I was Black Dog. Brown Dog Tackle out of Phoenix, New York. Phoenix is a hotbed of, as everyone's going to say, Phoenix is a hotbed of fishing, the fishing industry right now in Central New York. But he offered to bring me out this morning. He's out practicing for the Fed tournament this weekend. And we came out and found a few fish. It's funny, I've been dying to get out and catch a few smallmouth, and we came out today and I caught a couple walleye, no smallies, and Ian caught a couple smallmouth. So whatever, but it was nice to see some different water and do some different things. But real quick, we're going to highlight two of the main products that Brown Dog has are the A-rig, and what do you tell me what you call your fly again?
Oh, that's just our marabou.
So it's a marabou jig. We're going to bring it in close for a little look while he describes it to you.
That's just our black. That's the 3/32 ounce black marabou. It's got a Gamakatsu hook in it, super sharp, lighter wire Gamakatsu, light enough to get the good penetration you want on the long cast with the soft rod, but still stout enough where it's not going to bend out when you get them big 4 or 5 pound class fish on. So.
And your body section is what now?
That's just a small 3/4 to an inch piece of Berkeley Max scent.
And that's a plastic, so that's giving you a little bit of bulk, a little bit of profile,
A little bit of profile,
and a little bit of weight.
And a little bit, yep, for casting and the Max scent. We all know the smallmouths can't resist it. So our hair jig we tie with, there's a little keeper in there, so it stops that from sliding down the hook.
Okay.
Because you really got to whip this thing to get it out there.
And how are you fishing that?
It's just you throw it out there. You're looking for, this is like a cruising fish bait. You get into the shallows anywhere from 2 to 10 foot of water where them smallies are just up cruising. They're not locked on anything, and you just cast it up there and you slow roll it along through there, and you feel a tick and you set the hook.
Because without it, you're not feeling anything on that bait. Like, nope. There's no action to it. It's coming through the water on a straight line, and you're just feeling that tick that when they've picked it up.
Correct. Yep.
Huh. Interesting.
They just swim up behind it and suck it in.
Now tell me, I heard rumor that you had guys in the Elite Series last weekend on St. Lawrence throwing that.
A couple guys up there were throwing it, and one of the guys who, Liam Blake, who finished in the top 10 on Oneida
during the Open.
In the Open, he was fishing this hair jig.
Wow. Okay. Next, now, which one came first for you for the tackle company? The
A-rig. This is the bait that has this is our number one selling bait right there. It's our junior size, and that's the money maker right there.
What is that? An epoxy head? Clear epoxy head?
Yep. Yeah, it's
weighted. Yeah.
Well, no, this is the head's weightless. It's just we pour the epoxy head. It's just our rig. I mean, every single one of them wires I lay in there independently, so it's perfectly balanced. You're not going to get any. It doesn't roll on you in the water.
That's a lot of hardware going through the water. Tell me what it's like when a smallmouth takes a crack at one of these, and do you find that they're typically hitting just that center one, or can it be any of the 5?
It's typically the bites come on, because I'll run, like in the Fed, you can only, or a BFL or a Costa series or whatever, Toyota series now it is, or whatever, you can only use 3 hooks. So these top 2, we have a 3-hook version where I shorten the arms on the top 2.
Okay.
So they can't really get to them. And you just run dummies on there, little owner center pins I put on there, and so even if they hit them, they'll still go, and they'll just go back for one of these ones and grab one with a hook on it. But yeah, it's typically, I mean, a lot of times they key on that center one, because we always run a different color bait on that center, or a dyed tail or something, so they key on the center one. But it's either, most of the time, it's the bottom 2 or the center that they hit. And when the
bottom 2 when it's going through the water like that.
Yep,
gotcha. That makes sense.
And when they hit it, they want to take all your equipment. They don't play around. I mean, when you feel one of them little taps at it, it's one of them walleyes out here that we got so many of in this lake.
Okay.
They kind of swim up behind it and grab it like a wet sock, and you drag them in. But the
And
walleyes love this thing too, by the way.
Now, is there a time and place where that A-rig is better than, in your opinion? I mean, or could you throw it pretty much from ice out to ice up? And...
Yeah. It's down south. They throw it. I mean, winter time's a great time down there. That's when this thing got famous, was in the winter time, fishing deep down there.
Obviously, it looks like a school of minnows.
Yeah. I mean, up here, you can throw it all year long. I'll be tossing it around this afternoon trying to figure out a few spots where I can throw it on Sunday.
Interesting.
But it obviously excels in the fall when they really get on bait. And it's if you're not throwing this bait right here in the fall, you're not fishing for first place.
Interesting. That is, it's amazing what we have in our area for innovative people that are making products that, one thing Ian said to me earlier today when we were fishing is I started making stuff out of necessity because there were things that I wanted that I couldn't get. And mother is the invention of, necessity is the mother of all invention. And that really is the truth in everything. I mean, how many people have tied their own worm harnesses forever and ever and made their own lures whenever possible. But you've taken something from homemade and made it production quality, top of the line components. That's really very impressive, and I love, and you're local. We've known each other since I had the tackle shop.
Yeah, long time.
It's been a while, and to see this level of innovation, especially in our own backyard, these things you can't get more made in New York than some of the companies that we highlight. And made in the USA is great. Made in New York is even better. And so we talked about some of the local shops, Lakeside Outfitters. They have a beautiful shop down there. And for everybody that thinks, it might be too far away, take a ride down there and go see those guys. Because for me, I'm a guy, I love the Japanese baits, and they got a lot of them, and the Japanese manufacturers make stuff that are just better. The detail in them, you were throwing around a mega bass jerkbait earlier and showed me one of them that most of the paint was ripped off. For all you walleye guys, most of the paint was chewed off because of how many walleyes he's been catching on that jerkbait. Most walleye guys, that's predominantly what they do, don't even have a jerkbait in their box or in their boat.
That one mega bass it's like my favorite one now because it's caught probably 300-400 walleyes from the second week of May until through last night.
Yeah. Are you fishing that in the Walleye Wednesday tournaments?
Yep. Yeah, we caught last night we fished and we caught about 20 walleyes, all jerking.
All in jerkbait.
Yep.
I said I came out to do a little bass therapy and I caught 2 walleyes, both of which I don't have it still rigged up, both of which are on that mega bass. It's the jig head, it's the fish-shaped jig head with the propeller on it, like the spin head.
Yep.
Both were on that this morning we were on the South Shore. We couldn't have been in 5 foot of water, 6 foot tops. Just boom, and we don't think about going outside of our own box sometimes, and we really need to do more of that because it's this lake and any other lake. Nothing is ever any one thing all the time, and there's multiple ways to catch any species of fish, quite honestly. So we'll do a quick fishing report because we had a pretty nice morning. It was 75, 76 degrees air temp when we left the dock this morning. What do you got for surface temp? We cracked 80 yet? We got to be getting pretty close.
It's on one of these.
It's on one of these screens. It was almost flat calm this morning. We had a few storms chasing around us, a few spits of rain. We got a pretty southwest wind right at the moment, and it's just really started blowing 5 to 10 maybe. How many did you end up with? You ended up with 4 smallies?
Yeah, 4 or 5. Yeah.
You had one on a net. You had one on a topwater. You had one on the black marabou bug.
And one on a drop shot. So
and one on a drop
so
shot.
you can say I'm dialed in.
Right, right. We couldn't get multiple bites on any one thing. So there was 4 smallmouth. I had 2 walleyes, and it's just after 8 o'clock now, and we're heading in. We started about 5:30. Got to our first spot at 6, so we had 2 hours of fishing, and had 6 fish in the boat, all of which were good quality fish, depending on what you were looking for. So it was a great morning, and I thank you a lot for the offer and the ride along. This was a lot of fun. Not to mention I get to ride in this super fast Phoenix boat, which is gorgeous to fish out of. So thanks everybody for all your support. Remember, tomorrow is the last day to go on to the YouTube channel and get signed up for this giveaway, which ends tomorrow. So stay tuned. We'll have more details. Thanks for all your support. And as always, we'll do it on 3. You ready? We'll do a little keep your tip up on 3. 1, 2, keep your tip up. Thanks, everybody.